Probably the easiest to predict UCS LEGO Star Wars set of all time. Hello and welcome back to another video here in the LEGO Room. I hope you are well. Today I am going to sort of talk a little bit about the newest leak, which is that we are getting a LEGO Star Wars UCS set on May the 4th. Who would have thought it, as we always do, and it is going to clock in at around about that $239 mark, which will make it at least £210 here in the UK. Who knows, they might pump it up to 220 by the time May rolls around with inflation and such. If you're a LEGO Star Wars fan, please do drop a like on the video before we dive right into it, and do consider subscribing. There is always LEGO Star Wars stuff going on in this space on a daily basis. We're back to daily uploads. This is the news, of course, that we're getting a LEGO Star Wars Mandalorian N1 UCS set, as you've probably guessed from the thumbnail, on May the 1st or May the 4th if you're not an Insiders member. This will be released on May the 1st, 2026, which is nearly 6 months away, actually, so it's not actually that far away. However, this is probably one of the easiest things to predict, and I have touched on this in previous videos, particularly around the Mandalorian movie, and of course what we're looking forward to seeing from January onwards. You can already go and see what we're getting in January in previous videos. I'll drop the thumbnail on screen for you now. We'll also, as soon as we get the images, the official LEGO licensed images, be doing videos about the stuff that we're getting for January and March. When we do get the images, we've already got some of the unofficial images for Harry Potter, so if you're a LEGO Harry Potter fan, there will be some LEGO Harry Potter images coming very, very shortly on the channel. Back to the matter of hand, however, which is of course that we're getting a UCS Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, and all we know about this set is that we're obviously going to get a Mando and Grogu, and I think the really nice thing about this UCS set is it is one that I would like to get a hold of. I do have the play scale set from a year or two ago. They can't really mess this set up too much. They've already got a very good play scale version from a year or two ago, and it reminds me, of course, when we got the X-Wing a year or two ago, when we got the play scale X-Wing, and then we got the UCS set as well. You kind of can't go too wrong. The shape, scale, you can't really get it too wrong, so I'm really hoping they knock this one out of the park. There's been some small talk about whether or not Grogu is going to be a new mold and potentially going to be an all-in-one shape, kind of like we see with the Babu Frick figure that's in this year's advent calendar. And if you want to see this unboxed, it'll be throughout the month of December on the channel, so another reason to subscribe if you aren't already. Look at how tiny he is, but yeah, all in one shape, which I think would make more sense for Grogu as well. So yeah, we haven't got a piece count at the point of recording this, which is on Monday evening, and this video will be released on Tuesday afternoon, and at this point we don't know the piece count for this. I imagine it'll clock in at around about or just under the 2,000 piece mark. I think that's kind of where we're at. We kind of got a bit lucky with the UCS Slave 1 this year, which I cover in the top 5 video yesterday that you may or may not have already seen. Spoiler alert, it does make the top 5. I thought it was an excellent UCS set, and probably one of the best sets that we've seen UCS style for a very, very long time. Yeah, what do you think about this news? We're going to get a Mandalorian N1 Starfighter UCS set with a Mando, with a Grogu. I am curious to see what the Mando looks like, whether or not they actually use the Mandos that have come before in terms of LEGO minifigures, or whether or not they'll use a new model that will be more representative, of course, of the Mandalorian movie, which is coming out at the very end of May. This set makes total sense to me. They are always going to release a smaller UCS set on May the 1st or May the 4th, and of course you've got the Mando movie at the very end of May. It just makes total sense that this would be out on the market just in time for that movie. There is one other bit of news as well, and that is that we've got a news of the polybag, the image of the polybag that's coming on the very start of January, which is of course a Vader's tie. And this did lead to some speculation about a week ago when this image sort of first leaked, whether or not we would actually get a Vader's tie as the UCS set for May, and whether that made more sense. We of course know that we're going to potentially get a Vader's tie in March of 2026, and I've covered this in a previous video. You can go and check out any of these previous videos to find out what is coming for LEGO Star Star Wars over the next couple of months and everything we know so far. But there was sort of small sort of rumblings. Could this be the kind of thing that ends up being a UCS set in mix? Of course, we have seen with some previous polybags, I'm thinking most notably of the TIE Advanced and of course of the X-Wing, that these sets that are smaller polybags at the start of the year end up being the UCS set for May. Of course, this was broken last year with the Falcon, the Millennium Falcon polybag. We didn't get a Millennium Falcon UCS set. And of course, with the AAT the year before that, for the 25th anniversary, we didn't get an AAT either. So it's not always the tradition and not always the trend, but we are seeing that this year again. They've sort of broken the structure of the polybag being the UCS set, as it were. So Vader's TIE will be a regular play scale set, as we sort of originally believed it to be at the very start of March. And that polybag, we've got one image for it, and I've probably already dropped it on screen for you to have a look at. It looks fine. It just looks like a polybag. It'll be $5. It'll be £3.50 or £4 here in the UK. A little bit clunky with the way it looks with those sort of wings. Not entirely sure how I feel about it. Ultimately, it's a polybag. I never really sort of care too much about them. I'm sort of more interested in the sort of sets that will precede it, and very excited for us to get some of those official Lego images of the sets that are coming in January, because it won't be long now at all. What do you think of this set? Are you pleased that we're going to see more Mandalorian in 2026? It was inevitable that we're going to get more Mandalorian in the year that is coming, because we've got the Mando and Grogu movie. I've covered this in a couple of videos already. Go and check them out if you're new to the channel. Go and check out all the stuff that's coming over the next couple of months as well. You'll be able to find a list of videos on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. As per usual, please keep it kind, keep it respectful, do respect each other's opinion. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.